In this episode, I'm going to give you my fight prediction for the breakdown of Triple G versus Canelo Alvarez in their rematch for September the 15th. Also, if you're in the area of Brampton, there's going to be a live amateur fight show on Saturday, September 15th, which is going to be tomorrow at 3 p.m. for Automatic Drive in Brampton. Welcome to the DO Boxing Show. I'm your host, Dameon Okposio. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. I'm going to do my best to break down Gennady Golovkin versus Canelo Alvarez Part 2, which is going to be taking place tomorrow. So today is Friday, September the 14th, and tomorrow is going to be a great day of boxing, a lot of boxing happening. There's going to be a live amateur boxing show at King of the Ring Boxing Club, which is in Brampton, located at 4 Automatic Drive in Brampton. Their show starts at 3 p.m. and there's going to be some great fights. So if you're in the Brampton area, Airport Road and Williams Parkway, go and check that out. It'll be finished in time for you to catch the fight card, which features Triple G and Canelo Alvarez in the main event. So the breakdown of the fight, I'm not going to go too much into the backgrounds of either fighters. A lot of people know who Gennady Golovkin and Saul Alvarez are. And Gennady Golovkin, of course, has over 300 amateur fights. He's got a lot of amateur experience, and he's undefeated as a professional. He is currently middleweight champion. He is 38-0-1. No losses, just the one draw with Alvarez. And he's got 34 knockouts. Saul Canelo Alvarez, he's got an amateur career, but he turned pro very young. Has 49 1-2 in terms of professional bouts. His only loss came to Floyd Mayweather. His 2 draws, one to Golovkin. The other one is not even really worth mentioning. It was in his 4th or 5th professional fight. He had a draw at that time, early in his career. He's got the same amount of knockouts in terms of 34 knockouts, and both of these guys have seen each other for 12 rounds. And I think the first fight was a very close fight. I don't think anybody really dominated. I watched the fight now, and recently probably about 3 times. They both had their moments in the fight. Canelo Alvarez landed a lot of punches. I don't think a lot of the punches had really a lot of effect on Golovkin. Golovkin seemed to only be rocked by one punch that made him do a little bit of a stutter step, caused him to take a step. Golovkin definitely hurt Alvarez with a lot of punches, and I think the onslaught slowed Alvarez a little bit through the middle rounds as well. It was a great fight. It was a very, very close fight. I think the draw could be a good decision. A lot of the rounds were very close, and again, I don't think it was a dominating performance on either side for either Golovkin or Alvarez. I think you could look for a lot of good intangible stuff that both of them did. Canelo Alvarez moved and fired back. He counterpunched well. Golovkin does what he does, which is come forward, but he was tentative in the first part of the fight. Now, going into this fight tomorrow on September the 15th, I'll tell you some of the things that I'm looking at that might make a difference, and who I think is going to win the fight. First of all, when it comes to Canelo Alvarez, I heard only that he was a little bit smaller in this weigh-in than he was in the previous weigh-in. I never saw the weigh-in yet, so I can't really put too much on that or judge that yet. When it comes to the steroid scandal, I look at it like Fernando Vargas versus Oscar De La Hoya. You know, steroids can only help you so much. When it comes to the fight game, it's a dangerous It's a dangerous thing to do. It's a dangerous thing to cheat because you're dealing with people's lives. But when it comes to the elite level, do steroids help that much? In my personal opinion, I don't think so. I think it can give you maybe a size advantage. But boxing skills are boxing skills. Do I believe Gennady Golovkin has boxing skills? 110%. I've watched some of his amateur fights. Aside from being extremely strong as an amateur, like he stopped Lucien Boutet in the amateurs, there's some video of him, and he can box. He's got some boxing skills. He hasn't decided to use them. As a professional, he's been very effective at stopping his opponents. But he did box David Lemieux, and he respected Lemieux's power. He knew that Lemieux was a huge puncher, and he opted to box. And even in the Canelo Alvarez fight, there was moments where Gennady Golovkin utilized his jab. So it's there. He can utilize the certain skills that he wants to take when he wants to use them. In this fight, I think I don't think there's going to be the same tentativeness that Triple G showed in the first fight, because when you get to the very, very big stage, sometimes that can have an effect on fighters. I think it affected Canelo Alvarez when he fought Floyd Mayweather, and I think it affected Triple G in the first fight. I don't think that's going to be a factor in the second fight. The first fight, Triple G didn't go that much to Alvarez's body, and I think that can be a key strategic move in this second fight. In this second fight, I believe that although Canelo Alvarez has more versatility in boxing and a willingness to use a lot of his boxing skills, which can help him, he's very elusive. I think he's going to make Triple G miss a lot of punches again in this fight. But there's a lot more that Triple G can do in terms of adjustments to make the fight a little bit easier for himself. Also working in his favor is Canelo Alvarez had a knee brace for the camp leading up to this fight. He had a cyst behind one of his knees. He got it removed, and that may hinder his mobility. Not that his leg isn't fully healed, but it might be in the back of his mind if his legs or if his knee can take the amount of movement that he wants to put into the fight. So hopefully he comes in peak condition, because if he has an issue with stamina, we know that Triple G will eventually get at him with pressure, and that will take a toll on him. And he doesn't want to stand in front of Triple G because we know that his punches will affect Canelo Alvarez, and he is the heavier-handed fighter of the two. When it comes to all the talk about the animosity, I don't think that's going to play much into the fight. Do these two dislike each other? Yes, but they're both professionals. They got a lot of fight experience between the two of them. People say that Triple G might be slipping. I did see some hesitation in terms of he let Canelo Alvarez off the ropes in the first fight a lot of times. Was that intentional, or just could he not pull the trigger? I don't know which one it was, but when you look at the fact that if Triple G is still slipping and he had such a close fight and he still didn't go to the body of Canelo Alvarez, I think that there's much more in the tank for Triple G. If Triple G is getting old, I don't believe it's going to be in this fight. Triple G has never been dominated in a fight, and I don't think that this is going to be the fight that it happens in. My prediction for the fight, and I think Canelo Alvarez has got a great chin, but my prediction in this fight is that Triple G will touch Canelo Alvarez's body a little bit more. I think the mobility is going to be hampered a little bit. I think that the pressure of Triple G is going to get to Canelo Alvarez, and I think that Gennady Golovkin, knowing that it's a Golden Boy promotion, knowing that Canelo's a Golden Boy fighter, is going to want to press the stoppage, and I think he's going to get it late in the fight, probably around 10, around 11. He's going to pressure Canelo Alvarez, and I think he's going to force a stoppage in this fight. So I know a lot of the people have Canelo Alvarez winning, but I believe that Triple G is going to be winning this fight, and I believe he's going to be winning this fight by stoppage in the late rounds. I'll put it round 11. It's going to be a stoppage win for Triple G. So interested to hear your thoughts. I've already got a lot of thoughts on my Facebook page under a picture that I posted. I think it's going to be a great, entertaining fight regardless. Thanks so much for listening to my opinion. Remember, if you have any questions related to boxing, send us a message through Twitter at DOKPOSIO, through email okposio@hotmail.com, and don't forget to subscribe to get every episode of the DO Boxing Show. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode, and we'll catch you in the next one.
I was trying to get it how I live. I want them dead presidents. I want to pull up, head spin, get it, get fly. I got 6 jobs, I don't get